Stop what you're doing, Lakers family. Because if the phone calls I'm hearing about turn into a real offer, the West is about to feel it in the knees. We're talking about a move that shores up our biggest soft spot, helps LeBron breathe in fourth quarters, lets Anthony Davis and DeAndre Ayton pick their battles, and gives us a cleaner plan for the grind of spring basketball. I'm talking about Daniel Gafford in purple and gold. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Really now? That's exactly why you need to stay right here. Because this isn't just a flashy headline. It's a chess move. It's rotation math. It's playoff math. And it might be the difference between almost and absolutely. Before we get into the nuts and bolts, do me a favor if you live and breathe the Lakers like we do. Hit subscribe, tap the bell, and drop a like. We're building a calm, straight-talk space for grown fans, especially if you're 50 and want the noise filtered out and the good stuff laid out plain. No fluff, no drama for clicks, just basketball you can feel and understand. All right, straight to it. Our front line today has names everyone knows. LeBron, AD, and the new big body in town, DeAndre Ayton. That's a lot of size and skill at the top. But let's talk about what happens on cold Tuesday nights in January, on back-to-backs in Denver altitude, or in Game 5 when legs feel heavy and every rebound feels like a small war. That's when you need a second wave at the 5 who doesn't blink, doesn't hunt touches, just screens hard, rolls hard, protects the rim, and finishes through contact. Jackson Hayes can do spurts of that. He really can, and he's on a friendly deal. But consistency in the heat of a playoff series is a different animal. That's where Gafford lives. Think simple. Set the screen. Dive like a freight train. Be a wall in the paint. And clean the glass. He's not coming here for a billboard. He's coming here for a job. And he's good at that job. Now the chatter going around is not just Lakers call Dallas. Offer a handshake. Get a bow on top. You know it never works like that. There's a version floating that ropes in a third team to make salaries and needs match cleanly. In that sketch, the Lakers would aim to come away with Gafford plus a wing-sized defender with a no-nonsense game someone, like Haywood Highsmith, a hard-hat guy who guards his yard, hits open shots, and doesn't complain if the spotlight goes somewhere else. Why that matters? Our perimeter defense needs more grown man minutes, especially on those long wing scorers who live at the elbows and corners. One more adult in that room gives Darvin permutation power bigger lineups without losing foot speed, and smaller lineups that don't surrender the board battle. Let's slow it down and talk fit, because fit is everything. Picture LeBron with the ball above the break. Two-man game to the right with Austin Reeves, Ayton parked to pull a bid, and Gafford ready as the hammer on the baseline. One screen from Gafford and older legs don't have to work as hard. Defenders hesitate one half step, and that's all LeBron needs to put the pass right on the front rim. This isn't a highlight fantasy. It's the same bread-and-butter action we've run for years, but with more vertical threat and fewer wasted dribbles. With Gafford, your low-maintenance points go up. Putbacks, pocket passes, lobs when defenses turn their head. That means fewer stretches of empty trips, fewer 6-minute scoring droughts that kill you in Utah in February or in Phoenix in May. Defense? That's where the value gets real for the 50-plus crowd who watches the details. You know the feeling when a guard gets to the cup and you're praying for a miracle? Gafford lowers your prayer count. He's not perfect, no big is, but he changes shots, and he makes drivers think. That half second of doubt turns layups into floaters. Floaters into misses. Misses into rebounds. And rebounds into LeBron push-ahead threes or Reeves early seals or Ayton duck-ins. Basketball is a chain. Gafford strengthens the link in the paint. But what's the cost, right? That's the grown-up question. The number everyone circles is that he's on a solid 3-year deal, not cheap. Not crazy designed to make sense for a team that needs a dependable second center in the prime of LeBron's last great run. Dallas has their reasons to listen. Logjam up front, future flexibility questions, instant help on the perimeter if they get the right guard back. and maybe a pick asset that lets them tinker without tearing anything down. For the Lakers, you're probably talking a package that makes you swallow hard for a second, something like a guard salary that travels well. A future first, maybe a swap down the road, nothing that guts today's roster, but not pennies either. If there's a third team, you could see a young big or a depth piece changing zip codes, so the money lines up in everybody. Can say they came away with a need met. Is that an overpay for a backup center? Depends how you look at it. If you measure by points per game, sure, you'll say too much. If you measure by how many possessions in a playoff series did we survive because the second unit kept the paint clean and the offensive glass alive, the math flips. A tip out that becomes a LeBron 3 at age 41 is worth its weight in gold. A hard screen that forces a switch and turns a tough Reeves mid-range into an easy. Ayton dunk saves legs, LeBron and AD don't have to burn. By April, those savings show up. Let's talk rotations, because that's where fans over 50 really feel it. Can this coach manage minutes so the stars are sharp when the horns get loud? Imagine this rhythm. First quarter, Ayton sets the tone. AD picks his spots where the matchup is soft. LeBron orchestrates. Mid-late first, Gafford comes in and nothing drops. He screens the air out of people, gobbles defensive rebounds, earns you extra trips to the line with second-chance effort. Into the second, lineups with Reeves, a big wing defender, and Gafford become a resting window for LeBron that doesn't cost you a 10-0 run the other way. In the third, you sprinkle Gafford opposite Ayton's minutes so you're always big, always physical, always vertical. In the fourth, you can go offense-defense without taking a timeout every possession. Ayton if you need a post-touch and composure. Gafford if the game turns into a street fight at the rim. Options are oxygen. Now. About Highsmith or a similar 3-and-D wing. That part might feel small in headlines, but it's huge in the grind. Someone who would chase shooters, get into bodies, box out, and calmly hit the corner three when LeBron's too. In a 7-game series, it's not the 30-point nights that swing everything. It's the 8 points and 3 stops at the right time. We've all seen it. One role player tips a game tips a series, and a series tips a summer. Add one more adult to a rotation that already has Reeves making the right read. Rui giving you honest size at the forward slot, and LeBron still bending the floor. And coach gets to dictate the kind of game we play instead of reacting to the other side. Let's be fair and call out the real risks. 1. You can't spend future picks like they're candy. A future first and a swap are serious tools. If you burn them, you better be honest that you're all in on the window you've got. LeBron's last shots at the top adds prime pride, and this Ayton experiment needing a safety net. 2. If Ayton stays healthy and plays heavy minutes, are you comfortable paying real money for a center who might play 16 to 20 minutes most nights? That's the accounting puzzle? The counter. Those 16 to 20 minutes are the minutes that protect Ayton for May and June. Protect AD's legs and protect LeBron from banging with 7-footers on a Wednesday in Memphis. Sometimes you put a real lock on a door even if you only close it for part of the day, because the hours it's closed matter most. 3. Chemistry. You don't mess with what's working. So the ask of any newcomer is simple. Check your ego, do your job, and understand that on this team, your loudest statement is a quiet +8 in 14 minutes. That's it. Gafford, by nature, fits that. Not a quote machine. A screen and rebound machine. For a locker room led by LeBron and AD, that's a win. Timing matters too. Do it early, you get reps in rhythm before the All-Star break. Do it late, the price can drop or jump based on injuries and the standings. Wait until the deadline, and you might be chasing instead of choosing. The beauty of this front office's recent moves is that they've opened multiple paths. They can hold and see how Ayton looks in a full Lakers context, let Hayes fight for minutes, and keep the powder dry. Or they can push a chip in now, not all of them, but one, and say to the room, we're not here to participate. We're here to compete. Let's talk about the people in this. because people drive outcomes. LeBron at this stage is the best time manager in the sport. He knows when to ease into games and when to step on a neck. Give him a vertical threat who doesn't need the ball and he'll buy himself 4 easy points a night with 2 pocket passes. Over a season, that's 300 or so points the hard way turned into the easy way. Anthony Davis, the ultimate Swiss Army knife, gets the freedom to hunt matchups instead of body every bricklayer for 82. You want his defense fresh in crunch time, not worn out by December. Aiden, with a steady reserve behind him, can accept being used like a starter some nights and like a specialist others, depending on the chessboard. That kind of depth turns a 3-man front line into a 3-headed front line, which is a different animal. Austin Reeves benefits too. He's at his best when playing simple. Snake a pick and roll, make the pocket pass, step into the relocate 3. Bigs who screen cleanly and roll hard make his life easy and his stat line honest. A wing defender who stands up at the point of attack means Reeves doesn't have to fight through every screen on the planet. Less pounding, better legs in fourth quarters. Again, options are oxygen. Let me address the wallet question one more time, because I know my older fans care about the cap sheet like a household budget. If the price is a future first and a reasonable swap, that's not reckless if the return is a playoff-proof second unit. What would be reckless is half-measuring, giving up a pick for a name who doesn't solve your real problem. The real problem hasn't changed in 5 years. When the game slows down, can you still get clean shots, keep the other team off the rim, and survive 6 minutes when your stars sit? Gafford plus a real 3-and-D adult checks 2 of those 3 boxes in one swing. Now, I don't want to pretend this is signed, sealed, delivered. It's not. It's a live conversation. Dallas can simply say no. The third team can ask for more. The money math can wobble. And our own guys can play so well over the next 2 months that the urgency cools. That's allowed. This is not a panic move. It's a professional move. If it happens, it'll be because the numbers add up in the gym and in the book. Where do I land if you force me to pick a side? I'm for it if the ask lands where it should. 1 movable guard contract, a future first, and a reasonable sweetener to make the 3-team lanes work, in exchange for Gafford and a tough-minded wing who knows his job. That's not mortgaging the future. That's paying fair for reliability at the spot that cost us in too many fourth quarters. If the price balloons, walk away. There's always another big in February. But if it sits where the buzz says it could, pull the trigger and don't look back, because I can see it in my head already. It's late in the fourth at crypto. The building humming, we've got a 2-point lead that won't stretch. LeBron brings it up, waves off a second screen. Gafford sets it at the logo and crushes a guard trying to fight over. Reeves slides to the wing. Aiden seals for the second option. The weak side wing defender takes 1 fatal step in and bang kick to the corner. Veteran wing splashes it. 5-point cushion. Crowd explodes, coaches exhale. That's what depth buys you. Not posters. Control dots, so I'm asking you, the real ones, especially our older diehards who've seen a dozen roster cycles. What would you pay for control in the spring? 1 first down the line for a clean rotation now. Or would you bet on internal jumps and hold the line? Tell me in the comments. Talk to me like we're at your kitchen table with the game on. Because this is your team too, your money, your nights, your heart. And if you want more talk like this, easy, straight, and real, stay with us. Subscribe, hit that bell, and roll with Lakers News Fan Report through every rumor, every box score, every road trip. My own view on the record. If the number is right, I do it. Not because it's flashy, but because it's professional. You win in June by being professional in January. And this, to me, is that kind of move.